Hi friends, so I have some fun things to show you that I'm going to put in the Cottage Dollhouse that I'm doing, and they just arrived today, so I'm going to show you each piece of items for doing the interior and some of the exterior part of the dollhouse. And then tomorrow or the next day, hopefully, I'm going to start installing these items, so stay tuned for that too if you want to see everything in the dollhouse and how I'm going to do that. So everything I'm going to show you, I got on Miniature Crush on Etsy, and the very first thing I'm going to show you are the floors because they are gorgeous, and they really weren't that much. I think this was like $6 for this whole entire sheet, and I love this because it's the wider plank, and I'm going to put this upstairs in the cottage room, and the back you just take it, you know, and you peel it and it sticks, and you just have to measure and fit it and it's done. And if I want to varnish this, it's all like sanded, so I can make it darker if I want, which I think I will do. And I will do that probably before though I install it, because it's better to varnish before you install the floor. So I may do that, and I'll show you how to do that when I do that. And this one's a little bit of a darker stain on this one, but this also is kind of a wider plank, which I wanted, and this is more of a golden color, which I won't be doing anything with because I love the color. This one will be going downstairs in the cottage, I'm pretty sure. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to make this a little darker, and then this will be downstairs. And a lot of people make their own floors, which is fine too, with popsicle sticks or whatever, but considering that these weren't that expensive, I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna buy them and it'll be so much easier. And they're so nice, and they're wood too. They're not fake. They're not the paper. They're actual thin wood pieces. Another thing is the windows on the cottage upstairs that I have they're just really bad. So I have to figure out how I'm gonna do this, but I got this sheet, and this is with the little diamond shapes, and I'm going to try to put these install into the windows where I have the other ones. That might be kind of tricky, so I have to figure out yet how I'm going to do that. And then instead of making my own, these weren't that expensive either, I decided just to get window boxes. I did make my own shutters though, and I'll show you that here in a second, but I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the door yet. I've been looking at different options online for the door in the cottage. I haven't ordered anything for that yet though. But these are just the little window boxes, and I definitely have to find something to put in them yet. I don't have anything, but I want to paint them to match the shutters. So I'm thinking to do like white, and then, you know, have them aged looking, and then do the same with the shutters so they kind of match with what I do with the shutters. Well, I have a lot of sun shining through here, but here is the shutters, and I wanted to show you, these are the original shutters here, and I just use this as a template. So I had some balsamic wood that was the same thickness, so I just traced around it and then cut it out with a heavy-duty utility knife. So that was pretty simple, and then I sanded the corners and the edges so it was more finished looking. And so what I'm going to do is I am going to paint on top of this a white. So I coated these just with 2 coats, and remember to also paint the bottom of the flower box, and 2 coats on the shutters. And I'm going to let that dry, and then I'm going to put something decorative on them, I think. Like paint a little vine. Decided not to paint a vine or anything because I want it to be real rustic looking, and I also want it to be seasonal, so it's not just one season and it goes into different seasons. So I don't want it to look too summery when it's winter. If I want to do it a Christmas house and put Christmas things on it, then it won't fight against anything flowery. So I have this where it's dry now, and I am going to antique it a little. But before I antique it, with brown color, I do want to sand it. But lightly sand it with a very low grade sandpaper. And we'll just go with the grain. And the reason I want to sand it first is because the part then that will have the bare wood showing, that will adhere to the brown paint better. So what I'm going to do is make my brush kind of wet, go into the brown paint very lightly though, and then just kind of hit it like this. And then I do have a paper towel I'm going to wipe it with and kind of rub it, I should say. It's not really wiping it, it's like kind of rubbing it. See how that looks? So it almost looks dirty in a sense. But you don't want to put the paint on without it diluted, otherwise it'll be too much brown. And like there's a lot of brown here, but I'm gonna wipe it off. It doesn't have to be perfect because you want it to look actually not perfect. So that's what I want that to look like. And I'm gonna do the same for the shutters and for all of the other window boxes. So that's what I'm going to show for now, and in the next video I will put all these things up into the cottage. I just wanted to show you the basics and what I'm doing. Thanks for now, and I hope I see you next time, and like and subscribe if you like what you're seeing. So bye for now.